Hi, this is Mike from RMT Family. So it is March 15, 2021. It's early in the morning. I just got done watching the VW Power Day, which I believe was 1 p.m. Central European time. So it's a little earlier here in Montana. Still a little chilly in the morning. We're still below freezing. We dropped down to the low 20s, sometimes even upper teens. So it's a little chilly. And I came out to my studio here. I'm using the car today as a studio since I do not have a real studio. But let's talk about VW Power Day real quick and my impressions from it. It was super exciting. I mean, anytime a auto manufacturer commits to electric cars, that is exciting to me. I think that's a forward-thinking strategy, and it's good for all of us. So obviously this was a Power Day, so they were not showing off their cars. This was more about power, and with power we usually think right away about batteries and battery packs, and yes, that was part of it, and but there was much more exciting stuff than just batteries. That was the beginning of it. We'll get to the much more exciting stuff here in a couple minutes. They showed off their battery pack ideas on how they want to build their battery pack, and that they want to build a pack that will work for about 80% of their cars, and then they will have the 20% special cases. Obviously, VW is a huge company. As you know, it's not just VW. Pretty much everybody knows Porsche and Audi is part of that. There's other car companies that they own. So there's huge potential there for them to get information, for them to introduce different models. But also they own a company that builds trucks, which is Scania in Sweden. And so they also have the commercial influence there. And with having the commercial as well as the racing influence from Porsche, they can definitely gather a lot of data pretty quick and test a lot of things in different markets. Scania, by the way, they build they build semis, they build big rigs, they build also buses. So there's a lot of information to come from there, and they kind of showed off what their plan is, and they want to be bringing battery plants up to speed by about 2025. So they're building actually 6 battery plants so that they can make all these batteries that they will need. So, but that was about it for the battery part, more or less. The battery part was pretty short. They kind of showed a little bit about what they're thinking in regards to chemistry and stuff, but obviously they didn't go into details of it. Most people don't understand anyway, and they don't want to give away any secrets. So that was about the battery stuff. And then it got more exciting because they didn't just commit to building electric cars. They actually also went into building a charging infrastructure. And so they partnered up with other companies, and one of the funny things is one of the companies they partnered up with is BP. You might know BP. BP is a company that you find anywhere around the world. Sometimes they use other brand names like Arco or Aral. Those are just a couple of them. BP is British Petroleum. Petroleum. That's oil. Well, BP has been into the renewable market for quite a long time, actually. Many years ago, they started a solar program that you could lease panels from. BP is interested in staying in business, I guess, because oil is not such a huge market anymore once internal combustion engines go away. But they've been focusing more and more on renewables and sustainability. So VW actually, one of the partners is BP for their charging infrastructures, which that's exciting to see. Anytime an oil company goes away more and more from oil and comes to more sustainable energy. I really like that. But anyway, they showed off the companies they partnered with, mainly in Europe. And then in Northern America, they partnered with, obviously, Electrify America and Electrify Canada. Why? Obviously, because VW has to pay for this due to their diesel scandal they had. So that's kind of where they go to. So it is very interesting to see that they really focus also on the charging infrastructure to support all their cars, and they don't just leave it up to other companies. They signed agreements with those companies, and they're trying to really improve charging, especially in Europe. And that brings me to another thing. If you live in Europe, you will benefit greatly from what VW is doing. Overall, you will get more models of electric cars available in Europe, and you benefit from the infrastructure. So great benefit to Europe. If you live in North America, your benefit's very minimal. So for us here in North America, there wasn't much talk about North America. North America is last thing on their mind. The only thing they showed real quick is Electrify America and Electrify Canada. That's it. They didn't talk about North America at all in regards to doing anything here. Americans, unfortunately, are not the market. Americans don't want to buy EVs, I guess. It's just not the same as in Europe or China. So VW focuses heavily on Europe since that's where they're located, as well as heavily on China. So there was a lot about China, a lot of talk about it. They showed off all their charging infrastructure. They showed up a super fancy app that they have for China. And well, China is the largest EV market in the world, and the government of China is focused on electric cars. So no wonder they go there. They don't want to come here, unfortunately, or not much. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Politics obviously play a huge role with the current administration. Maybe VW will come over here with more models because we need a bigger variety here in North America. But anyway, if you're in Europe, you will benefit greatly from this. If you're in China, you will benefit greatly from VW. If you're in North America, well, we're just here. So anyway, but it's still exciting that VW is willing to put in all that effort and build up charging infrastructure. What also was even more exciting to me is they showed off their options that they will provide for charging. They had this little robot that can drive around, and if you're in a public parking structure, without putting up special areas for charging stations that would get iced anyway all the time, right? They have this little robot that totes around a battery pack that can charge your car. And I thought that's kind of a cool idea, because all you need is a little corner in that parking structure where you park this robot with a bunch of battery packs, and you only provide electricity to that corner that will charge up those battery packs. And then you just use an app, probably, I assume. Actually, they didn't really show that, but I would assume you use an app and say, hey, I'm in this parking spot, please come plug in my car. And then this little robot can go anywhere in this parking structure and actually charge your car. So charging spots wouldn't be iced anymore like that, because you would just choose a spot and they're all the same, and this little robot comes and plugs the battery pack into your car. So that's kind of cool. That's not out yet. they showed the model there. I've seen prototypes before. I think Mercedes maybe was involved into something like that as well. That was one of them. Then obviously with their e-mobility program that they advertise, I believe Porsche has their charger says e-mobility on it. They have another little charger, home charger, that they showed off that you would use at home. And well, okay, that sounds all pretty reasonable and normal. They show up their DC fast charger that they have with a built-in battery pack, so it doesn't rely on a large grid, so you can be way out and just have be hooked to a power source way out and slowly recharge the batteries inside that station, and then charge your car actually from the batteries. That's not necessarily anything new, but it's exciting that VW commits to building such infrastructure as well. The most exciting part to me was they showed what they called a BD pack, BD for bi-directional. Okay. And it's a little bigger than your standard home charger, but what it does, it can use your car's battery pack as a backup power source or just as power storage in general. So this could be coming in really handy as the power goes out. Your car sits at home anyway, is probably in many cases people just charge to 90-100%. So your car's probably charged and the power goes out, and now your car can power your house. And that's the coolest thing ever. I've been waiting for this. Here in North America, there's really nothing available currently. Nissan has a system for the Leaf, and they have a few prototypes in the United States as well as Europe and several in Japan. And it's a working system, so they can actually power a house off the car. Nissan Leaf's battery packs are a little smaller in general, and that works fine in Japan, they say, because there's a lot less power consumption than definitely here in North America. But this BD pack from VW, I think this is something that we need. This will help with so many things. Like I said, it will be backup power for your house from your car, as well as it can provide grid storage. So with having your car hooked to the grid, we can take advantage of renewable resources like solar and wind that are only available at certain times. And sometimes when we have wind or sun, we don't need the resources because we have too much power already. So we got to actually shut down wind turbines, and we're not able to use that energy. But if we have this bi-directional pack going, then we can actually, with a smart software, we can just charge up electric cars. And let's just charge them up higher. Battery packs are getting better, so that's why a lot of people charge to 100% already, because it doesn't really affect the packs much anymore. There's still a little bit of a difference if you charge to 80 to 100% in a long-term thing. But we could take advantage of those resources and store them in cars. There's so many cars, or there will be so many cars parked everywhere, electric cars that can store and absorb all this energy and then give it back to your house or give it back to the grid. They didn't go into too many details on it, but this is the way to go. This is what I'm waiting for, because I would like to use my electric cars as a backup for my house. Here in rural Montana, we have quite frequent power outages. They may not be very long. Sometimes they're just a flicker, sometimes they're a minute or two, sometimes they're 15 minutes, sometimes they're a couple hours, sometimes they're a day, sometimes they're 30 hours or more. So in any event, power outages are inconvenient, and if I have a huge battery pack sitting outside my house. I have two of them sitting. I got like over 130 kilowatt hours sitting outside my house, okay? I mean, and I can't take advantage of it. I can only take advantage of it while I'm driving. And we're not driving very much anymore, especially with the COVID. So cars sit a lot, and this would be really cool. So this is one of the super exciting things. So overall, very excited to see that VW has committed to electric cars and sustainable transportation. Super excited to see that they're willing to put infrastructure in to build their batteries. They're actually already building in Sweden, which is great. So their first factory for batteries is on its way. Happy to see that they're going with motorsports input as well as commercial input from public transportation, buses, and big rigs, trucks. So that they put all this together. I'm happy to see that they partnered up with several companies to build charging infrastructure, that they're committed to improve speeds on charging. It was really cool to see. A company like VW going electric is a major step, and it will benefit all of us sooner or later. Probably later here in North America, unfortunately, very soon in Europe, very soon in China. And if hopefully Americans change their opinion about electric cars, since the average driver doesn't drive more than a few miles a day, so when a 2012 Nissan Leaf would suit like 60% of the people here in the United States for daily driving. And with 2 cars per household, well, you could have a cheap Nissan Leaf, let's say, for 1 person for the daily driving, and then maybe you have a long-range car of sorts like a Tesla or something that's more expensive for your long-range driving. But today it is possible to pretty much go full electric with your car, even in the United States. And I'm hoping people here will hopefully fast change their minds about electric cars and switch over to electric cars as well. And then hopefully VW will bring more of their models over here, because we need some competition here in the US market. In the European market, there's great competition. Prices are coming down on electric cars in Europe, but not really here in the United States because there's no competition here. So we desperately need some competition in the EV market here so that we can also have cheaper EVs. And the more EVs that are bought, the cheaper they will get, the cheaper batteries we'll get. It's just what it is. So congratulations to VW and their commitment to sustainable transportation. We're looking forward to seeing more and get more of that implemented everywhere and anywhere around the world. All right, so that was my impression of the Power Day from VW. And I hope everyone that's watching already has an EV or is about to get an EV. In any event, give us a thumbs up for the video, please. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you get notified about all our videos. Share this video with others. Leave a comment down below. Just help us grow our channel a little bit. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.